Hey, I'm Krai. Like some Viktor content, some middling content? Consider subscribing, maybe even hitting that like button. It'll help me up a lot. And if you do, you'll get blue buff. Viktor Challenger. The only rule, I can only play Viktor. Unless it's banned, then we're playing Orianna. No Viktor jungle, no Viktor support, maybe Viktor Bali, and that's about it.
Hello friends, welcome back to another Viktor 2 Challenger gameplay. This game I will be against Ari, but how are you guys doing today? Hope you guys are having a wonderful day, if not a wonderful night. Hope your games are going well. And without any further ado, let's get straight into this game. This game, again, I'm against Ari. I think Ari is a very popular pick. I think she's a pretty good pick into most matchups. She has pretty good escapes, pretty good wave clear, solid damage, not the most. Her charm is really fantastic. Overall, really solid champion if you're looking to climb. But straight away we go into a level 1 action here, and keep note, this is like Diamond, again, this is Diamond 2, Diamond 1 gameplay. And yes, you still see this kind of level 1 shenanigans even in high elo. If you think that Diamond is high elo, you will definitely see these kind of level 1 shenanigans. Here, while waiting for Ari to come back to lane from her first death, you notice that I'm not really trying to push the minions immediately. That's because I want her minions to kill my minions, so I'm trying to last it as late as I can so that my minions don't push in too fast. Even though the goal here is not to let Ari push into me, you see very quickly that depending on how the Ari plays, I have to change my game plan. So right now the lane is in neutral because I'm not sure what Ari wants to do, but after, I believe she'll hit level 2 from this one minion here. So she hits level 2 here, and immediately she used her first Q on the wave. So this tells me that she wants to shove it in, and in return I would use my E on the wave as well in order to prevent her from shoving it in too fast. The reasons being, again, I don't really want her to shove the wave in. I don't want her to have time to put a ward or to have some random roam timings, anything from that. I want her to be in lane as much as I can. Even though Viktor has a pretty okay time CSing under turret, the best case scenario is that you don't really want to let the enemy shove in for free unless you're trying to look to stack up a big wave. So now that we know what our game plan is, which is to not let her stack up a big wave or shove it in, and the second game plan is obviously just to get Lost Chapter because I have TP and I believe she has Ignite. We're trying to farm here, and the third game plan is because they have Ari and Kayn, we're trying to not die to both of them, not even like trying to take free damage from them. I think in this particular game, in this matchup, I don't think the Ari is thinking too much about trading with me. I think she's really focused on trying to shove the wave. As you can see, she's really trying to shove back the wave into me, but it's not a big deal for me as long as I'm paying attention to the wave and trying to return the shove back to her. Again, I really don't want her to shove a big wave into me. Mainly, again, it's because I don't want her to have random roam timings or even just a free recall. Ideally, I want to keep the wave frozen if I can, but it might be slightly harder as I don't have TP this time. I can't really stay in lane much longer with the amount of mana I have. Although I do have more health than her, this is the part where I figure I could probably hold a freeze, but at the same time I'm trying to check if she's going for a cheeky recall, and as she does, I stop her so she can't really base, and if she does, she will lose a lot because she doesn't have TP to come back into the lane. Here, I think I definitely could have managed this wave slightly better. I definitely should have instantly tried to tin it out a bit more, especially if the cannon is already here. You can see there's very, very ugly just CSing under turret. I managed to get like one of those minions, but really I should have gotten 3 here. So a bit of a skip, but basically what happened is that she stayed until I poked her out of lane. Really, really surprising, as I didn't really try to, I think the main reason is because she didn't try to trade with me, even though she should have with the amount of sustain she has. Here, a 3v2 going on. I managed to dodge the knock up and the charm by sidestepping. Here, I think I definitely should have backed up, especially since I didn't have mana. I didn't upgrade my abilities before because I was thinking maybe I needed to upgrade my Q, but upon looking back, I think I definitely should have just backed out because there was no way I was really killing that Kayn if he didn't overcommit. But it's not too bad because I was able to get a pretty good base here. You can see that I'm going for Ludens this game, but I think I definitely should have went for Liandry's this game looking back, because they had a bit more healing than usual. Not that Liandry's matters, but the fact that if they have more healing, which means I'm probably getting anti-heal from MORELLO's, means that I probably should have stick towards Liandry's, which has a lingerling effect that burns them, which allows the anti-heal, the Grievous Runes, to last longer, to stay on them more longer than Ludens here. Here I pretend to get caught, but I knew that Taric and Kalista are closer to me. I knew that Ari isn't nearby. Their Zeri is not nearby as well. Kalista is pretty strong. I would like to say like Kayn here is pretty strong. As you can, I just want to say that's a pretty good shimmy by me. A lot of the fights you will see that I'm trying to just kite out the fights. But again, back to the point is Kayn is pretty strong here. He has not a big shutdown, but he was pretty strong. He was like 5-1. But these are the types of little skirmishes where he went in without knowing that where the rest of my team is, and he kind of got killed for that, and it kind of killed his tempo. It's just a really simplified version of that, but you know, if in the future there's more examples of that, I'll definitely point out. Here, you can see that I definitely could have went bot side to collect the farm that's around neutral point, but because I knew my minions were slightly stronger, as you can see on the top left, I knew the wave was going to be pushing, and I see that my Kalista is positioning a bit aggressive here. That's a beautiful stun from Taric there, flash stun into them. Again, beautiful team fight from my team. And again, I just like to point out, these are the type of fights where you have to pay attention to what your mid lane or your teammates at mid lane are doing to know that, oh hey, I think a fight might be brewing up. And then you have to decide, because if I had walked bot side there, I definitely think we probably would have lost this team fight here. So it's really crucial in the mid game to pay attention, especially if you don't have TP to join fights instantly. It's really crucial to pay attention to where your teammates are going. Right here, I think this is definitely my fault. I do this. I think this is a really bad habit of mine, and looking back, I definitely should have paid more attention to where the Kayn, or I definitely should have knew that the Kayn could potentially W and knock me up. I died here. I didn't draw my ult. I didn't really contribute to this fight at all, and the enemy didn't really get a clean sweep on us. But definitely they shouldn't have been able to had this close of a fight at all in the first place. Again, it's definitely my bad. I definitely could have flashed W. My thought process there was like, hey, maybe I can flank the Kayn who has a wall dash with Ahri. Same thing I did with the Kayn earlier, where he's trying to kill me. It's basically the same thing. You have to pay more attention to where you're going and where your team is. Here, we catch up the Kayn, because apparently Kayn was trying to clear Ward and Baron after using his cooldowns. And we're trying to catch out Ahri here. But I think, yeah, J4 just slightly misses the EQ combo. Not a big deal here. We opt to go for Baron because I believe Tryndamere is side pushing, and we're a really strong team right now with Kalista and I having like good items. I think this move was pretty bad. I think if I had Flash, I probably could have made this work. But because I didn't have Flash and only had Cleanse, I shouldn't have made this move. I didn't really expect the Zeri here. I died here for free. I definitely could have queued something, probably the Baron, to give myself a shield. It went well, but these are one of those fights where we have to understand that, okay, even though it went well, it was not a good play from me. Here we get the Baron. Kayn comes in after the fact that we've gotten Baron. A really weird move by him. But again, great team fighting from my bot lane. They managed to clear this 3v2 fairly close actually. I'd say like my J4 actually played that pretty well as well. So we get the Baron here, and honestly I thought that would be the end of it, but again, a skip here, and long story short, we had a few misfortunate fights and it kind of dragged the game out a lot. And that's what I mean by, like, if you're ahead and like you're giving opportunities for the enemy, you're gonna drag the game a bit longer, and you're giving the enemy more time to have a comeback. This is the play where we see Kayn basing on wards, and we know that Kayn has a bit amount of money that he could probably get a full item with. That's why we're stopping his base here. We know that Baron just came up, So it means that if Kayn chooses the base here, we can definitely get this Baron for free. And if he doesn't choose the base, we can definitely take a fight with Kayn not having to buy his item yet. Because remember, even though they won some fights earlier, if you haven't gotten your items, you're basically the same as you were. And my teammates have definitely gotten their items, so we're definitely slightly stronger than Kayn's team right now. Not sure what the Kayn was thinking with a Kalista on my team. We definitely get the Baron here, but I want you guys to pay attention to how this fight is going. It seems that we're cleaning this fight, but notice how Kalista is on the top side, on the wrong side of the fight. So as your teammates, if you know that your Kalista or if your ADC is strong, make sure to peel for them. Because if you kill the enemy, but the enemy ADC is really weak, it doesn't matter, because once your AD who is stronger than them dies, it's not worth it. A bit of a mixture about like ADs and mids, but I hope you guys are able to learn something from this game. And I'll see you in the next video. Thank you.